Listen up, partners. This is Good, Bad, Ugly on World Improv Network.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Alex.
I'm Jim.
I'm David.
And we are your astute win counselors to get you through the week with any daily grind issues you might be experiencing or any problems that you want us to solve for you no matter what. So let's get to our first winner, and that's Cameron. That hails pretty close to here from Denver, Colorado, and he writes, Dear Win, what's the deal with banana sauce?
Banana sores or
Source.
banana
Source.
saurus?
Source.
Or source.
Source. As in like,
S-O-U-R-C-E.
yeah, that's it. Banana sauce. That was it. That's the question that he wants to know. What's the deal with banana sauce?
Well, I mean, I think it's a pretty cut and dry case of, bananas have to come from somewhere.
Right.
They don't just grow on trees.
Mhm.
So, there's somewhere on the earth, there's got to be a banana source.
I mean, like the God tree, like an avatar.
Yeah.
Where everything's connected to. Every banana comes from that God tree, essentially. It's just disseminated across the world and then harvested.
Absolutely. Right there.
That's a pretty good guess.
Yeah.
What do you think, Dave?
Well, banana source, actually, due to all the genetically modified foods that's in our circulation of the foods these days.
Right.
So organic bananas actually have a better banana source than the genetically modified banana source, because the genetically modified banana source is actually a petri dish.
Oh, so it's almost like the thetan levels. Let's say it's for the Scientology bananas. So organic bananas that's like the thetan levels. They're a lot lower. They don't need to be cleansed as much as the GMO bananas, right?
Exactly. It's all about the thetan source.
Right, the thetan source of the bananas. Yeah, that's great. I think Dave might be right onto it, or it's either Jimbo. But my original thought here, Cameron, was that I think you're talking about what source, where they come from, and they actually do come from that great tree. However, that tree is the Gerber tree, and it's baby food, because all baby food is made out of a banana paste base, and that's the source of all nutrition of life. Yeah, that's it. Without that, we wouldn't be sitting here right now, guys. If it wasn't for banana source within Gerber baby food or some other brand that Gerber owns around the world, we would not be here.
And that is potassium.
That's potassium. And that's why you should have bananas after you run, for example. You're an old triathlete, Dave.
And during.
And during. Yep. It all comes from the tree, the
And
source.
postpartum.
And also menopause. A lot of bananas during menopause. That's what my mom tells me. All right. Well, anyway, we're going to move on to our next winner, and that's Lionel from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And he writes, Dear Win, did you hear about the guy in Indonesia that the Indonesian government claims is 145 years old and still smokes and gardens every day? Do you believe this claim, or do you think it's BS, and why?
I have not heard the claim. I do think it's BS because people can't live to be 145.
And smoke and still sit in the garden and pick away, huh?
Well, especially not in that, but just you can't live to be 145. It's not going to happen. The human body isn't built for it.
You know what? And Michael Jackson tried that. Remember how he had that hyperbaric chamber that he slept in with chimpanzees and stuff? So he claimed that he was going to be able to live to 200 or 300. He didn't quite make it there. Dave?
So I don't know the actual recorded age of the oldest person. I'm going to have to counterpoint and say I have not heard the story, but I believe someone could live to be 150.
If they eat enough bananas?
Well, bananas, and so look at George Burns. I mean, he smoked cigars forever, and what did he live to be, 100?
100, yeah.
So what's 45 years? I mean, if you're exercising.
It's a lifetime.
Between smoking, then it's possible.
Yeah.
I mean, optimistic.
The oldest lady or the oldest person prior to this claim, which just was, made about, 17 hours ago, it looks like.
108?
From 122.
Really?
It was Janine Calment from 1875 to 1997.
So 23 more years. I mean, that's only like
that's nothing.
Going to high school and a couple years of college.
Maybe just a little bit extra college. Maybe some high school.
I don't buy it. I think the human body, it's like an iPhone. It has like 4 years in it, and then you have to replace it. The human body, it's good for 100 and
max
10 max. Some people are going to push it a little bit, but you can't have an iPhone that's going to last you 9 years.
Right.
It's going to fall apart before that.
Right.
So maybe there's a cryogenic discovery where a portion of that 145 years was just in frozen animation.
That's a good
Okay.
point.
Then
Maybe-
those years don't count.
That does like Walt Disney. That shouldn't count. If Walt Disney comes back because he's been on ice since he died, then his age should be when he died plus
Yes.
versus continuous.
Yeah, but I think as we people look at things, we would just chronologically take those years.
Right. And that would be the big mistake. That would be our human flaw to make those chronological years count, because you're right. He's in stasis, shouldn't count. I agree with Jim. The other thing, though, is maybe this guy is either A, he was linked into the banana tree of life, and therefore he's gotten that extra boost that you need, that the iPhone battery always needs. Or, yeah, hey. Or
K.
B, yeah, hey.
K.
Hey.
Potassium. K.
K.
we
Oh,
we
that's
haven't
what you
talked about the fountain of youth.
Fountain of Youth or Oran Pandak. Oran Pandak, which is Bigfoot, is in Southeast Asia, in Indonesia, actually. And if there is a Bigfoot, the most likely one is not the Yeti, the Sasquatch, or the Bigfoot. It would be Oran Pandak in all those remote islands of Indonesia. Maybe he is just Oran Pandak.
Wait.
And they live that long.
Hold on. Why is that most likely?
Because Oran Pandak might live over 145 easy. And of course, they like to garden and they smoke all the time.
Oh.
So maybe he's actually
Little
just an
note.
Oran Pandak, and 145 is like almost like youthful for an Oran Pandak.
It could be an alien.
That too. All right. Well, let's move on to
Shadow.
Rachel from Long Beach, California. She writes, Dear Win, do you like dancer auditions? Very simple question. Do you like
I like auditions better than dance.
You do?
Yeah.
What kind of auditions do you like?
Casting couch stuff.
Okay.
There's a lot of it on the internet.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, those are like, so you try to learn from these auditions that you're watching on the internet?
Absolutely.
So for your next audition for, let's say, an improv show, or, you know, maybe this awesome, cool new show that's coming up, you know, an improvised Christmas Carol.
yeah.
Oh, man, that's going to be cool. I can't wait to see that.
You know, I know that if I go into it, I need to keep an open mind.
Right?
Be open to whatever the director wants me to try, whatever he needs to experience me to know what my full range is.
That's understandable.
You know, can I work on a desk? Can I work on my knees? Can I work on a couch? You know, what is my range of motion?
That's a good point, because you don't want to get injured on the job when you're getting, you know, in a very prominent position on set.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's good stuff. You know, I can understand that. What about you, Dave? What do you think? Do you like dancer auditions?
I like bad dancer auditions. Actually, I just like bad auditions in general.
Yeah.
Because I feel for the people. It gives me a chance to practice empathy
Okay.
and really practicing giving a good empathetic statement like, wow, that must have really been tough when you tripped and fell and broke your hip on your audition, and now you won't dance nor walk for the rest of your life.
Yeah, that's understandable. Yeah, and that's dancer auditions gone bad. You know, I mean, that's exactly right. I think there's a viral video on that. Dancer auditions gone bad. And,
Well, it's like ambulance chasing. I mean, we all would probably deny it,
but we'd
but
love
we
to do it.
all like
Yeah,
good,
we're-
good tragedy.
Exactly.
I mean, comedy tragedy.
It's NASCAR. You don't watch cars go around in a circle for 500 miles
No, you don't.
without the anticipation for a wreck.
Nor ski jumping.
That's right.
Oh.
Ski jumping, you want a yard sale. No question about it. Dancer auditions, you want to see someone break their hip and not be able to walk the rest of their life. Makes total sense. You know,
As long as you're under 80.
under 80,
It's
yeah.
a death sentence if you break your hip after 80.
Unless you're a Rand Pandak and you can live to 145 plus.
Right.
80's nothing. That's like midlife.
Yeah, but then at 140, you fall and break your hip, you're not going to make it
No,
to 145.
No, that's a wrap. You know, there's not enough bananas in the world to bring you back from that one.
Not even organic.
You know, Rachel, I have to say I'm traumatized by dancer auditions, because one day I was doing an audition myself, very similar to today, Jim over here. It wasn't so much as a casting couch audition. It was actually a true ballet dancing audition, and I slipped. I slipped on an army of war ants, and I fell down, and I got maimed, and I've never, ever danced since. I know. It was funny at the time, but now I can only appreciate dancer auditions from afar and never do it again myself. Okay, we're going to move on to one more. Yeah, I know, I'm sorry. Nick from Vail,
strong,
Colorado. Let me put it together. I'm sorry.
Let
guys.
it flow. You'll get cancer if you don't let it.
All right. We got one more quick one here, and I think Jim's going to jump on this one anyway. Nick from Vail, Colorado writes, Dear Win, how fast did we travel through space?
Well, I 1 AU times pi, 3 pi AUs per year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was that like an hour later or something?
Or not 3 pi AUs, pi AUs per year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pi AUs per year.
Oh, no, it would be 2 pi AUs per year. right?
2
Is
pi.
that circumference 2 pi r? Yeah, there we go.
You know what? There you go, Nick. And we got one more little piece of inspiration. Get you through the rest of the week, known as Horoscope Corner.
Love, fortune, status. Let us do your astrological chart. Horoscope Corner on World Improv Network.
Oh no, are you an Aries? Because things are about to get scaries for you unless you go to Facebook and check out the World Improv Network. Leave us a like over there, see what's coming up. Check us out on Twitter. Follow us at World Improv Net, all one word. You can send us suggestions for the show. Check us out on YouTube. We have a channel, the World Improv Network. Like our videos, subscribe to the channel. You can also subscribe to the podcast on iTunes or Google Play. Look up the World Improv Network, leave a review, leave some stars, subscribe. That helps us out. And you can always check us out here Sunday nights, 8 p.m., KDCO 104.7, and right here on Mile High Sports Radio, AM 1340.
Thanks for listening to Win on Mile High Sports Radio. Don't forget to be a winner and interact with the cast by sending your suggestions or questions for each show segment throughout the week by hitting them up on Facebook at World Improv Network, on Twitter at World Improv Net, or by calling into the Mile High Sports Radio studio line on Sundays before or during the show. See you next week.